Hello.
Hello, Bill.
Hello, Peter.
Thank you for having us. I think a lot of people know Meryal, but what does Meryal mean actually?
Meryal is an Arabic word, and it's really a Qatar, more local Arabic word. And what it means, it has to do with you're in water. And basically, as you get deeper in water, are you Meryal means you're standing in water, but your head is above the waves of the water, so you're safe.
Okay.
Basically means you're standing safely in water is probably the safest, but it's really pretty much almost up to your neck.
So it's a point where you're about to let go of
Yes.
the surface.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
What was why? Because it used to be called Aquatar. Why any?
I think when the project was first developed, obviously it was always oil and gas themed, and at some point in time, and Aquatar was the original name because you had Aqua and you had Qatar.
Yeah.
So it was a good name, but at some point in time, they decided that its ownership decided they wanted to even give more of their own Qatar heritage influence, and so they changed the name to Meryal.
Okay. I think everyone know Meryal because of the rig, the big tower, the icon tower. But
right.
the rest of the park is also pretty impressive, actually. Can you tell a little bit more about the park?
Probably one of the most impressive things about this park overall, and it's a big park. It's 281,000 square meters. Is the theming. They spared no expense. Everywhere you go in this park, it is themed, and it's themed to gas and oil. So all around the park, and if there was a gas and oil site, you would have, they pour concrete on the site. Wherever they would do this, they would never let it sit, so you'd have tire tracks and footprints. And all around the park, we have tire tracks and footprints.
Yeah, we saw them.
You saw that. And a lot of these sites are old and rusted, and they painted rust on everything. So, and this is not just, a lot of parks you might do it on the facades, the outside, but this is all the towers on the inside. So wherever you go, wherever you turn, you've got themed elements all over, and it's a very, very impressive. And like I said, we've got 8 towers. The Rig 1938 is one of the 8, and it's just very well done, and it's a very, very a lot of options, a lot of things to do for the kids and families.
And the rig is, I think it broke 2 world records.
Yes, 2 Guinness records. The tallest water slide tower, a little over 76 meters. Also, the record for the most number of slides on a single tower, which is 12.
Wow!
So we have those 2 records.
And for everyone who has not been up there, because if you look at the tower, we're looking at it right now in the back. If you look at the tower, it just looks like an immense, well, it is an immense structure with full of slides, but they don't all go all the way down from all the way up, all the way down, right?
It's actually interesting. There's actually 11 levels, but even at the 11th level, there's even a lower level, because the very top level, the 6th level of the tower, which is where we have our 2 tallest slides, they actually go all the way down below the lowest level to the ground level, and that's what gives the full world record height of the tower. The other slides are all tube slides. The top 2 are body slides. The other are all tube slides, and they all we have 2 catch bowls side by side where they all end up in. But yes, and the tower itself, again, back to theming, the structure, the base structure, if you strip away all the slides, it's an oil rig tower. So it's very impressive.
Where did this idea of this crazy tower come from? Because when I remember whenever I saw the concept arts, I thought, well, this is one of these designers that went all crazy, and it will probably look a little like it, but not in the slightest. But then you start constructing, and you surprised me.
I think it surprised them. As I understand it now, this goes back almost 15 years now. When they first started talking about this park, the goal was to make an iconic attraction, something that would be really worldwide known. And when the designers really started talking about this, they had sketches and things of a large tower like this. And they came very close to the original sketch, very close to what they actually designed. So it was pretty impressive that when they put their first thoughts together, they were able to, because they started with, I think, 12 slides. Well, I think 6 levels for slides. It was very impressive that from that original sketch, they were able to really get into the details and design a tower that almost matched it.
Does a structure like that operational comes with different challenges than that you were used to, or?
Well, yeah, number one, just physically getting people up and down, right? There are, when the guests walk up to the base of the tower, the ground level, we have elevators. We make them walk up a flight of stairs to the first level, and we have 2 elevators they can ride. One will go to level 2, or level 4, level 5. If they want to go to level 6, which is top level, there's outside stairs they have to walk up when they get there.
Okay.
So just keeping the flow, and as you can imagine, it's a popular attraction. So when it's busy,
absolutely.
communicating to guests, hey, this level has only this much of a weight, this level has that much of a weight.
Yeah.
That's another part of the challenge.
A lot of capacity management.
Yes, just trying to keep it as efficient as possible.
Yeah.
You know, and level 6, the top, that's one of our most popular slides. But it's a long slide, a long way down. You know, so unfortunately the throughput is what we'd like to be. So that's another operational challenge.
You told me yesterday that it was about 2-minute ride time.
Well, depends on your body size, and there's a lot of factors, but I've one of the 2 slides, we have 2 on the level 6. One is a launch capsule. Yeah. And another is just a regular, just a start tub. The regular start tub fractionator is slightly longer. It's over 550 meters. And I've timed some smaller guests going down at almost 2 minutes. It's a long slide. It's translucent, so you can see. I've been on it, so it's really interesting. You can kind of see, but you're in it for a long time.
Yeah.
They're very long attractions. Yeah. So,
and you don't only have actually water slides in the park. You also have some rides that you find typically in a dry park.
In a dry park, yeah, we do have an Intamin coaster. We have an interlake shoot-to-shoots ride. We have an edutainment walkthrough, which is part of the interlake attraction. Again, it goes back to history of gas and oil. We have one of our characters, Oily, is actually the tour guide, which actually guides you through the whole tour. Yeah. And then once you go through the edutainment piece, you have the option of getting on the ride or coming back out. If you get on the ride, the tour continues because you're inside for a period of time, and you go back in time for the dinosaurs. That's very entertaining. We have 2 trains, Severn Lamb trains. One is a loop train, has 3 stops around the park, and the other is a shuttle train taking guests from the mainland out to the Icon, to Rig 1938. And then the last thing we have is a simulator ride. That is we've videoed 5 of the rides. And if you don't want to get wet, you can go at least sit in a dry raft and experience that through VR.
That's really thoughtful.
Yeah, so it's something you don't see in a lot of water parks.
No, exactly. And is there a specific reason behind it to combine this, or
unfortunately, I've only been part of the project for a little over a year and a half, and a lot of this was designed years and years ago. But my understanding is, I think, this property represents Qatar, and it was obviously a big investment for them.
Sorry.
And I think they were hoping to add elements that would also, make the park a little bit more special. Yeah. And I think they've achieved that.
Yeah, they really did. They really did. Does it come with extra challenges if you are one of the first big parks in a country, Qatar?
I think anytime you open a big attraction like this, clearly, you're going to have challenges. Number one, just letting, everybody needs to know you're open, right? Yeah. And just working out all the arrangements you have to have from communicating with all the partners you have around town. And that always takes time, and it doesn't happen overnight. So that's an ongoing challenge that we have. Fortunately we have a Rixos all-inclusive hotel adjacent to the park. Yeah. So all the guests that stay there get access to the park. So that's obviously very helpful. And just getting everything dialed in. Anytime you open even one new ride, you got a lot of work to do to make sure it's working right. But we've got a total of 53 slides here, so individual slides. So it's a lot. And it's a man-made island that creates its own challenges just over time. So just working through all the issues. But fortunately, I have a very good team. And for the most part, our guests are very happy.
Great. Thank you so much, Bill.
My pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.